Hi guys, so today, lyrics. So I'm going to do a little short video just to speak about the importance of lyrics and what I kind of feel that we're missing in today's modern music, and something I'm going to try and push into my songs, my debut album. So I have done quite a few videos in a new series speaking about lyricists that I believe impacted music, and is kind of a good reference point for songwriters in terms of how to write songs socially, how to write songs culturally, I suppose that's the same thing, and emotionally as well, and making sure songs mean something. So in the series, I've already covered Morrissey from the Smiths. I've covered, so that covers 80s, 90s. I've covered Damon Alburn with Blur. And then noughties, I have covered Alex Turner and Arctic Monkeys, and then up to recent day, I've just covered Lewis Capaldi, just as his album's done so well in the past year. So, lyrics. Why are lyrics so important? Well, if you actually look back into over the years, the albums that have been picked up the most are the albums that have the songs that resonate most with the listeners. So again, you can have banging tunes, but you normally find you get kind of bands, artists that are single artists, which is more common these days. The problem you have is music is so regurgitated that, especially with streaming platforms, you have maybe 1, 2, 3 minutes at the most to take that song in, and it's almost like 3 minutes, I've got to grab your attention, lyrics don't mean anything, I've got to grab you by the balls, and I've got to make you go, right, I like this, oh okay, I'll put it on a playlist for some time else, let's move to the next song, then the next, then the next, then the next. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. You had the time. Again, you used to have like NME and stuff. Listen to this band, listen to that, and you'd go, oh no, I'll give them. I'll go on MySpace. I'll go on YouTube. I'll go and give them a look. They talk about 15 minutes of fame. You're talking about 5 seconds of fame. You've got like 5 seconds to grab your audience. So lyrics are not a thing that's been kind of looked into as much now. But in my opinion, it's still such an important factor to be successful, and you could write a banging tune but still have really impactful lyrics in there, and I just don't think people are thinking as much about lyrics. So again, you think about Beatles, right? Beatles 60s, some of the lyrics in Beatles songs, I'm going to do a separate video just on Beatles and Paul McCartney and John Lennon. Lyrically, they're my favourite band of all time. Then 70s, the Carpenters and all these massive Motown hits. Think of the Motown hits in the 70s and the lyrics in those songs, my god. And then 80s, okay, as much as 80s you might see it as a bit of cheese, some banging tunes in the 80s. There's a reason why we have nightclubs and festivals. You've got Rewind in Scotland that is just based on 80s music, because it was so good. And there's a lot of really, again, think about like Paul Simon and stuff like that, even he was releasing stuff, and I mean, even as much as cheesy as some of those songs were, some banging lyrics. Then 90s, then we kind of got a little bit more commercialised into the 90s. Again, you had stuff like Pop Idol coming in late 90s, I'm pretty sure. And then again, manufactured bands, Spice Girls, Boyzone, Westlife, A1, Backstreet Boys, you know, all these kind of generated bands. And it was not about lyrics, it was just about image. It was about image and just like catchy song, hook, boof. Kind of following the Stock, Aitken, Waterman, kind of their kind of hit factory in the 80s, and how it was just kind of like churn out hits, churn out hits, churn out hits, snappy. We got into 90s, and then it was just, we kind of lost our way. But the 80s was like really like hit central. Again, it was just like bang, tune. But then you had people like Morrissey from the Smiths, who was speaking culturally. And again, watch the video on that. I'll put a link up to it here. You guys can watch that. And again, they're long videos because I go through my favourite lyrics and then compare them to modern day music. So Morrissey was speaking socially, culturally, and also emotionally. Had some really good emotional songs in there as well. Forward that to the 90s, then you have Damon Alburn. Damon Alburn from Blur, he was writing socially and culturally. So again, think of Parklife, Coffee and TV, For Tomorrow, countless songs, but he was speaking about modern life. Again, he had the album called Modern Life is Rubbish, and socially, I think that impacted the youth of that time. You moved into the noughties, and then you had early noughties, you had Libertines, so you had Pete Dohery, you had Carl Barat, and think about the songs that Libertines brought out, speaking socially and culturally. So What a Waster, And then you think about Time for Heroes again. Did you see the stylish kids in the riot? Covered of black marks, set the night on fire, wombles bleed. Truncheons and shields, you know I cherish you, my love. And then emotionally, they were speaking, again, Can't Stand Me Now, between Pete Dohery and Carl Barat. I mean, you just think about the dynamic, an ending fitting. So Carl Barat, an ending fitting from the start. You twist and tore our love apart, your light fingers through the dark, shattered the lamp into darkness it cast us. Pete Dohery, no, you've got it the wrong way round. You shut me up and blamed it on the brown, cornered the boy, kicked out of the world kicked back a lot fucking harder now. Social, culturally. Even some songs like Up the Bracket, you think about like kind of the colloquialisms that they brought. Damon Alburn, I think, was the first person to bring in the colloquialisms. So again, the common touch. So again, he was very Cockney in his approach. And again, think about Parklife, Cockneyness of that song. And then moving into the Libertines. And again, what a divvy, what a fucking spiv. No, what a divvy, what a fucking div. Talking like a moron, walking like a spiv, or something, or talking like a spiv. But all like the colloquialisms that the Libertines used, and they were so effective, and they were massive. I mean, for them, I think Can't Stand Me Now was #1. I think it did go to #1. It was really #1. Up the bracket, and then you got into Alex Turner. So you've got Alex Turner then taking a social aspect again. When the sun goes down, a certain romance again. Oh, they might wear classic Reeboks or knackered Converse or tracky bottoms tucked in socks. And then again, you've got like Mardy Bum, again, a really nice, like modern day, I call it common, but like Mardy Bum is almost like a common love song. Cuddles in the kitchen to get things off the ground. Really, really clever lyrics, but it was timestamps. Morrissey, timestamp. Morrissey. I'd like to drop my trousers to the Queen. I am a man of means, by slender means. The poor and the needy are selfish and greedy in her terms. Again, speaking socially about poverty and speaking about real things and about royalty. Then again, you've got Damon Alburn speaking again. You think about Charmless Man. Charmless Man's again speaking about high society, class. Alex Turner again speaking about growing up in Sheffield, and again the normality of life, and I reference it all the time. I just love it. Put all your money in the fruit machine, win the jackpot, and then put all your money back in the bandit, and you got to understand you can never beat the bandit. No. And again speaking about MSN and speaking about just like the youth culture of that day, riot van, speaking about police, stuff that people can connect to. And the noughties, there was a big massive gap, and I don't really feel lyrically nobody really came out after the Arctic Monkeys that lyrically and socially and kind of caught anybody's attention. It just became very, very, again, X Factor and all these kind of shows, just talent shows just took over, and it was just regurgitated, and songs were just like they're snappy. Social media got kind of elevated, and it just, our attention span became like this. And again, you've got to get somebody in 20 seconds these days, and that's it. So then I go on about Lewis Capaldi. Now, the reason I went on about Lewis Capaldi in one of my videos, which is going to be up here, is because his album was so successful. But why was that? It was because he was speaking about real things. He was speaking about his breakup in a very heartfelt and heartbreaking way. And he spoke about raw emotion that I think the entire nation was able to pick up on. Some fantastic lyrics. Think about the singles he had. Someone You Love was the biggest single of the year. He beat everybody else. I think he won a Grammy for it as well. Bruises, and then Before You Go, speaking about mental health. You know, it's just fantastic. But watch that video. Again, the long videos, because I want to go into detail. This video here is just to give you kind of a brief snapshot of kind of what I'm speaking about lyrically. So we're at a point now where we're very lucky if we have somebody coming in that wants to speak about something socially. Again, Lewis Capaldi doesn't speak socially, so we're kind of still, I suppose, Stormzy in a sense. You take the grime scene, the grime scene's kind of taken that whole indie element and they've kind of moved it to another level. But in terms of a singer-songwriter, like you would imagine to come out these days, even Ed Sheeran's kind of sold out in my opinion. Taylor Swift, they're writing very samey. So I think that's what we're missing. So I've made these videos for you guys to go, well, actually, what's he talking about? What's he talking about socially and culturally and emotionally? How do I write like that? I want to write like that. Well, look at those videos. So they are, again, I've told you, they're like 30-40 minutes long. Listen to them, look at the lyrics and see how bad the lyrics are compared, because honestly there's some stinkers of songs, like so bad. There's like a Drake song where it's like, something about a fish tank and there being no fish in it. It's like, okay, it's awful. And that's where we are today. So for you guys that are starting up as singer-songwriters like me, I've got my album written, I'm happy with it. I feel like I'm speaking on social and cultural levels. I'm speaking emotionally. I'm speaking about normal day things that people can connect to. But again, this is for you guys as well. So watch the videos, like and subscribe, and again, keep me up to date with you guys. If you feel you guys have wrote a song that you like, then send it across and we'll have a listen to it. And again, let's speak about music. So stay safe, stay indoors, and I'll see you guys soon. Okay, cheers.